Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. You know, I love to get your day started off on the right foot. And to help me with that, I use some inspiring quotes, and I think you're really going to like today's. It says, "What can you seek now to make your heart still sing?" Oh, I love that. You know what it tells me? I need to explore my world, get inspired, and let it drive me to new heights. Because God has put this inspiration around us. It's so funny how He does it, too. He knows there are things in our lives that are going to draw our attention. Now, some of them are going to be things that we can really help with. Some things are going to be things that really inspire us to do more, to be better. And I love that inspiration kind of helps us to pick it up and keep moving, maybe move a little faster, find a little new motivation to get stuff done. Because we know what really matters. I love that He puts so many amazing things around us. I mean, think about it. Some days you can find it in just nature around you, a beautiful sunrise or a sunset. Maybe in that special moment with a loved one. And that moment when you know that you're making a memory that's going to last for the rest of your life. Those kinds of things inspire you to keep moving forward, because let's face it, sometimes things can get really old really quick and we feel like we're just in the grind. But every now and then we get that glimpse of something that makes it worth it. So I want to let you know, it's all around you. All you have to do is look for it, get inspired, and keep moving forward. And who knows? You might be the bright spot in somebody else's day. You might be the thing that helps them to keep moving forward. It's not just about you, but you're actually pouring into the life of somebody else, whether you know it or not. And I think that's pretty cool. So hey, stay inspired. Keep your head held high. You've got amazing places to go. God has wonderful things in store for you. He's got a plan and a purpose for your life. So keep walking it out one step at a time, and He'll sustain you. He'll keep giving you those little sparks of inspiration to keep moving forward, okay? And hey, the glorious thing about this is we don't have to do it alone. No, we're doing this thing together. And I'm so glad to be doing it with you. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Here's a song that'll motivate you. It's Christian Paul with Yes, I Am.
Hallelujah, say amen. Devil had me in the grave. Jesus told him think again. Hallelujah.
I never quite thought of it like this before, but when you really think about it, here, I just want you to hear what was conveyed to me on a social media post and see if it really grabs your attention like it did mine.
It's crazy that we even call the iPhone a phone. Calling it a phone is like calling a Lexus convertible a cup holder. Incredibly elaborate cup holder.
Yeah, what do you think about that? It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Now, I remember, because I grew up when a phone was just a phone. It was, plugged into the wall, and I even remember the rotary kind, right? The phone had one purpose. You could talk to somebody. And then along came this iPhone, and it's more than just a way to communicate with others. Basically, this phone that you have in your hand unlocks the world around you because you have access to everything through that, right? You've got all kinds of tools and apps and things that you need for your work. You've got your email there. You've got calculators. They even have like tape measure technology you can put on your phone. It's nuts. But what I'm getting at is that iPhone unlocks the world around you. And isn't it funny how we usually place these simple terms on things that really have a profound impact in our lives? Yeah. Well, I want to take it a step further. So you have the iPhone. Now, it might not be an iPhone for you. It might be another phone, but basically it's a smartphone, right? Same concept. It opens up the world around you. It's a simple description of something that has complex potential. Well, if we were to take it a step further and talk about that in our spiritual lives, I want to present to you faith. It's one simple concept, yet it has the power to unlock miracles in your life. I mean, the Bible talks about faith all the time. If you have enough faith as as little as a grain of mustard, then you can move mountains. That blows my mind. And that's what we have access to every waking moment of our lives. We call it faith. We think of it as a simple thing, but it is so complex, and it can open up your world. I'm just saying, if we were to tap into the full potential of that, could you imagine? I think the history books are waiting to be written about the people that are able to do that. Yeah, I want to be one of those people. And I just shouted out my friend down in Palm Coast, Florida, Joel Modis. Well, he just texted me, and he said he's doing great, and he wondered if I had another good dad joke for him. So actually, yes, I do. And here it is. Ready for it? All right, here we go. I would tell you a joke about a broken pencil, but it's pointless. Oh, yeah. That's one my daughter told me the other day. Oh, I love dad jokes. They're so good and bad all at the same time.
I just wanted to drop in and remind you that everything is possible. I know. It can be hard sometimes to see that. It can be hard sometimes to remember that. But everything is possible. Things take time. Sometimes they don't. But just let yourself believe in yourself. Let yourself believe in what is possible. Let yourself be wild in the fact of like, let me just reach out to this person or drop this there or apply for this job. If a part of you is like, there's no way, they're just going to say, no, it's not going to happen, then why not do it anyway, right? What's it going to hurt? What is it going to hurt? Let yourself sprinkle yourself out in the world. Follow the belief that it is possible. It's possible. Show up for yourself.
That's Trisha Huffman with, I think, some really good advice for all of us. Here's for King and Country.
So what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for?
Love is in the air. So many summer weddings taking place here recently. I wonder if maybe one of those couples is listening right now. Well, tell you what, I've got some advice for you from a newly married couple about things that you can pay attention to on your big day. So stick around. We'll get into it next, right after Matt Maher and the Lord's Prayer. It's yours, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Oh, this is good advice, too. Stick around. You'll definitely want to hear this. And if you know somebody who's going to be getting married soon, pass it along to them. It's so cool to watch love unfold before your very eyes. I see this like every day. I was perusing our station Instagram, right, this morning. I was just kind of looking through some pictures, and I came across this couple that just looks just so in love. Just, it's amazing. I don't know if you're following them or not, but Briley and Bodine, I'm telling you, these two, wow, they look like they're really enjoying each other. And I love seeing that. And marriage is that step that you take that says, hey, this is a person I want to be with for the rest of my life. We think we can really make a go of this. And then you watch it. You watch them get married, and then you watch their young years. You watch a family being built. It's amazing, right? But let's come back to the marriage, to the day of the wedding. There are some tips and some tricks that you need to know to make that day the most successful day ever. Now, I'm not talking about the counseling that goes on beforehand to make sure everything's good, between the two of you in the relationship. I'm talking about the practicalities of the wedding day and of the reception. So many moving parts. It's crazy. I can tell you from firsthand experience, well, I'm married, so I had the big day myself, but I used to work as a wedding videographer. I can't tell you countless weddings I've been to, and so many traditions, so many things done, but these are universal truths when it comes to the couple taking precautions to make sure their day is the best day ever. And I want to share a couple of them with you. Now, these were shared over on TikTok from a couple who recently got married. And so it's fresh. Here, take a listen to this.
The things that we wish we knew before our wedding are:
don't be afraid to edit your guest list. The more guests you have, the less time you have to spend with each of them.
One thing I wish I knew was to ask my wedding planner to put dessert aside, because I missed out on the dessert and we had awesome desserts.
Always make sure you have a plan B. Something will go wrong, and you should at least have a couple of options so you're not freaking out.
And it's okay if it goes wrong. It's part of it. Bring a big basket of slippers for the women dancing, because after a full day of heels, let me tell you, it's not fun.
I wish we'd asked our family a little earlier on what was important to them for the wedding, because it would have been nice for us to include a little bit more of the things that our family would have loved to have seen at our wedding, even though it was our day.
Yeah. Thank you.
I especially like the whole slipper idea because, yes, all the ladies, they take those heels off when they get out there on the dance floor. So having a slipper would definitely help them be a little more comfortable, and they wouldn't have to be barefoot. All right, more great music headed your way. I got Torrin Wells with Joy in the Morning right here, right now. Oh, thanks for hanging out with me. I love doing life with you. Where there's a will, there is a way, even for a single mom and her son. I'll have to tell you the story about Renee and her 11-year-old son, Zach, and what they've been up to. They're not afraid of a little hustle. Yeah, so stick around. It's kind of a bittersweet story, but I think you're really going to love it. It's pretty inspirational, so it might just brighten your day. A single mom, her son, a wagon, and a dream. That's what it takes. Where there's a will, there is a way. Let me tell you the story. Yeah, Zach, 11 years old. He had a goal. You know how kids are. They set their sights on something, they're going to try their best to get it. Well, he needed some money to make this happen. He wanted an electric bicycle. That's right, an electric one. Those things ain't cheap. So he had to come up with a solution for this problem. He didn't have the money, so how is he going to make this money? Oh, and by the way, mom's on board 125%, right? Well, Zach had a wagon. He decided to do a little art. Put a little logo on that wagon. In fact, that logo is kind of the center of his business venture. Yeah, it's a really cool idea. So he has some people in his family who have a print shop. And he came up with a design. This logo, it puts the name of the city that he grew up in right there in big, bold letters. Oh, by the way, he lives in Australia. And the name of the place where he lives is Manly, Australia, which brought him to this idea to start a brand called Manly 2095. And on the top of this logo, you see a guy surfing the waves. It's a really cool design, right? So on the weekends, you could see Zach. He was walking around with his wagon at the local beaches, kind of advertising his new business. He's selling shirts. He's selling hats. This logo can go on surfboards. All kinds of cool stuff, right? And he's done very well. He actually would go to the local market, and he'd set up on Saturdays and Sundays from like 5 o'clock in the morning to about 8 o'clock at night. And he was out there with his mom trying to make a little extra money. And guess what? It happened. He got enough money to buy an e-bike. He got it. And he was still going. He wanted to keep this business alive even after he reached his goal. But what happened next is the twist that's not so sweet. You see, while he and his mom were out of town for a couple days, their house was vandalized. Things were stolen, and the one thing, his prized possession, it just happened to be taken as well. But when the community found out about what was going on, they're like, oh no, we can't let this stand. We got to do something. So of course, they're trying to find the person who stole the e-bike, but at the same time, this community said, this single mom and this boy, they don't have the resources to make this happen by themselves. So they stood up and they said, we're going to start a GoFundMe campaign. And they did. And it's almost reached its goal. It's really cool. So they have a goal of $3,300. I told you those e-bikes are not cheap. And they've raised $2,880 of it so far. So they're almost there. But I don't know. There's just something about creativity and ingenuity and that stick-to-itiveness of an 11-year-old boy to make this thing happen in the first place. I mean, he's driven, right? I can definitely see he's going to have a bright future. But the bad stuff happens, even to the people who are driven the most. In fact, it's kind of especially going to happen to the people who are driven the most, because it seems like when you got a good thing going, you're always going to get that resistance and that pushback. It's going to come out of nowhere. But you know what? There's a comfort that we have as believers. Jesus told us In this world, you will have trouble, but don't fear, because I've overcome the world. And when you know He's in your corner, that's all you need. Because things happen, kind of like what happened for Zach. Yeah, the community rallying around him and his mom saying, hey, we're going to help. God will put resources in your path to help you get to your destination and help you recoup from anything that the enemy has stolen. I don't know. There's just something about this story that'll preach. I'm just saying it's an inspirational thing. So I hope you draw inspiration from it today. If you're seeing a lot of pushback right now, it's probably because you're on the right path. So keep moving forward and watch God restore everything that's been stolen from you. He's good at doing that. Right now it's 66 degrees in Boaz and Arab, 68 right now in Huntsville. But guess what? Right here in Gunnersville, we are kissing that 70-degree mark. Warming up nicely out there. Seeing some more sunshine too. Those clouds are breaking a little bit and it is turning into an absolutely gorgeous day. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Your forecast is brought to you by Dwayne Green of Green Contracting, LLC, specializing in home building and remodeling. And their phone number at Green Contracting is 256-302-0644. Your word of life today comes to you from Galatians chapter 5, verse 13 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. For you have been called to live in freedom, my brothers and sisters. But don't use your freedom to satisfy your sinful nature. Instead, use your freedom to serve one another in love. Wow. Pretty cool concept, right? We are free. That is huge. Somebody needs to know about that. Hey, why don't you share that word of life with them? That's Galatians 5:13. We have it ready for you on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And it's at the top of our website, 885jfm.com, where we just happen to have a contest going on for local youth groups. Yeah, you can find out all the information by clicking that banner right there on our website, 885jfm.com. You could also click that On Now button to listen to us from wherever you happen to be, like they're doing right now in Alexander City, Alabama. Thanks for making us part of your day. One thing I can tell you that never changes from childhood to adulthood is the joy of doing the dishes. Yeah, never fun, never joyful. Oh, it's awful. Hey, I'm going to talk with you about that. Next, stick around. I'm going to get a little help. And I don't know, you might hear yourself in this next comment. Okay, so last night I was in the kitchen. I was doing the dishes. They needed to get done. So I've got my phone up in the windowsill. I'm watching my show. I'm doing my dishes. I like to do that to help pass the time, so I don't get so just disgusted by doing the dishes. I don't enjoy doing them at all. Yes, we have a dishwasher, but sometimes, I don't know, stuff is on those plates and those bowls and it just won't come off in the dishwasher. So it takes a little elbow grease and one of those soapy scrub pads, you know? So I apply some of that elbow grease. I'm sitting there doing my dishes. I'm early into it. My mom calls me and she just wanted to talk. She had a question for me. That was at 4:18, right? So we talked for a few minutes and something comes up. She says, hey, let me call you back in a little while. I said, okay. And so I go back to doing the dishes. The whole time I was doing the dishes anyway. And I went back to watching my show. And at 5:04, my mom calls me back and says, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm still doing the dishes. She said, oh, every dish must have been dirty. Oh, she doesn't know how right she was. Anyway, that's one of the things that I absolutely despise is doing the dishes. Oh, and you know what? When it comes to couples, it usually works out in this way. Shay Beck, I think, really got it right. Take a listen to her comment, and we'll come back and talk about it.
Hear me out. Hear me out. There are two types of people. One who, when making food, dinner, lunch, breakfast, cleans up while making food. So it's like putting things away while making, so it's like semi-tidy. The second person makes food and leaves everything known imaginable out until the very end. And those two people normally marry each other.
Yep, that's usually the way it works. That video has gotten so many views because it's so relatable. Over 1 million views, over 68,000 hearts, and let me tell you, there are some amazing comments. Johnny says, it's like it's a competition for the other person to see how many dishes they can use while cooking. April says, except my husband leaves it all out and then never cleans it up altogether. And I love this one. This is hashtag goals right here. This guy says, I clean as I go. My wife even gets mad at me while I clean for her as she goes. Dude, that is amazing. Where do you get that drive from? I hate the dishes. Oh, anyway. So did you hear yourself resembled in any of those comments? You can find Shay over on TikTok at Shay_Beck. And I think you'll find some pretty good content there. All right, more great music headed your way after your weather and your word of life. So stick around. We'll get into all that. But first, a few words from our ministry and business impact partners.
There are good and bad people in the world. The problem is the bad people don't know that they're bad. And the good people just don't know how good they really are. But one person pays attention to it all, and it's God. There's a chance for the bad to redeem themselves. And there's a chance every day for the good to just be good. Now go out and be the blessing. God bless you. God blessed us. And here we are.
Hey, he's always got some really good content over on TikTok. If you want to find him, it's Tony Reeder, Rieder. He's always got good stuff like that. So go check him out. And hey, stick around too, because we've got your Kid Cuisine coming up at the top of the hour. Then somebody's going to win a family 4-pack of tickets to... Let's see, where's it at today? Point Mallard Water Park. Oh, a whole lot of fun. It's 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. What does that mean? Well, it means it's time for some Kid Cuisine. That's right. Our kids, they're home, they're bored, they're hungry, and they get creative in the kitchen. Sometimes the things turn out okay, and sometimes it's like, really? Why would you eat those things together? Why did you pour orange juice in the cereal bowl again? That just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Why did you put mayonnaise on your Pop-Tart? That's crazy. I see where I'm going with this. Yeah, they could be culinary crimes, and we're showcasing them all summer long. Been having a blast with this, and want you to share yours over on our Facebook page. More about that in a minute. But today's Kid Cuisine is, well, their heart was in the right place. They were just a little misguided. I love cheese and crackers, right? Put some cheese on top of the cracker and just eat it that way. I even love Cheez-Its, where the cheese is baked into the cracker, but I don't know, there's just something that feels wrong about taking saltines, putting them on a plate, putting a couple of slices of Kraft singles down on top of that and sticking it in the microwave. I don't know, it just seems wrong. But that's what today's Kid Cuisine is. Evidently they wanted something cheesy and gooey and salty and crunchy all at the same time, and Taco Bell was nowhere to be found because, hey, these kids can't drive. So they make it themselves. Cheesy crackers. That's it. That's today's Kid Cuisine. What will tomorrow hold? You have to wait and see. But we want to see what your kid's favorite Kid Cuisine recipe is. So why don't you go on over to our Facebook page, 88.5_JFM. It's pinned to the top. You can see all of our past recipes, and we want to see yours. Maybe post a picture there, give a little description as to what's happened and whether you tried it or not, and if it was any good. We'd love to see all that. We love having fun with you here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Just keeping it, quirky during summer. Your chance to win a family 4-pack of water park passes coming up next. So be here. What kind of question are you going to have to answer? Well, stick around. I think you're going to love it. All right, so here we are. It's a Tuesday. You know what happens on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? We give you a chance to win a family 4-pack of water park passes to Point Mallard. It's so much fun. Yeah, so I wonder if you're going to know the answer to my question. Let me preface it by saying this first. My wife, she plays this game from time to time. I absolutely love it. It's on her phone, and basically it shows you these different logos for businesses, and it has you guess which one is the right one. It could be 3 different iterations of the same thing, and you got to guess which one is correct, right? It's just fun for me because you see these brands all the time on TV and newspapers and magazines and just about everywhere, right? Well, this one has to deal with a duck because we're talking about Point Mallard. Ducks Unlimited. You've seen that brand a lot, I'm sure. And I wonder if you know the answer to this question. And the Ducks Unlimited logo. And the one where you see the duck head right up close and personal with the Ducks Unlimited underneath written. Which way is the beak pointing? To the right or to the left? It's a 50-50 shot. So all you got to do is tell me right or left on this Ducks Unlimited. 256-505-0885 is the number to call. And I've got my caller already. Y'all are quick on the draw. Stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song, and I will get your answer, see if we can give you a family 4-pack of tickets to Point Mallard. Here's Colton Dixon with My Light. Good morning.
Good morning.
Who am I talking to?
Anastasia.
Anastasia, what's going on?
Just driving my kids to daycare.
Oh, to daycare. All right. What you got in the plans for today?
Work.
Work. Where do you work?
Marshall County ARC.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's right. I think I've talked with you before, haven't I?
Yes. I've had some of my clients up there to talk about their fundraiser.
I remember that. Had you guys in the studio. We had a blast. Well, all right. I've got this question here. I don't know how closely you pay attention to logos, but this one, if you know the answer to it, it's going to land you 4 water park passes. If you look at the Ducks Unlimited logo, where it's just the duck head and it says Ducks Unlimited underneath, which direction is the beak pointing? To the right or to the left?
To the right.
To the right is correct. Congratulations. You just won. So, hey, that's a lot of fun to be had, isn't it?
Yes.
You ever been to Point Mallard before?
Yes, but it's been about 3 years or so.
Okay. Oh, they've always got some fun stuff happening there. So, thank you so much for calling me this morning. I just need to grab your address, and I'll get these sent your way. How's everything going with ARC?
Going pretty good.
Yeah?
Busy summer, but, going good.
Thank you for all that you do up there. It really means a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I love it.
You're very welcome. Could I ask you one more question?
Yes.
Anastasia, why do you listen to 88.5 JFM?
Just very uplifting music and, you just listening to you pray for people and encourage people every day.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. Who am I hearing in the background? I'm hearing a little one, I think.
Yes, that is my little one. She is just turned 2, and her name is Joelle.
Oh, Joelle. Awesome. All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful day. I'll get these in the mail to you. You'll have them shortly, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
I know Anastasia is going to have an amazing time at Point Mallard with the kids. It's going to be a blast. And hey, I've got another chance for somebody to win, just like she did, coming up on Thursday to Point Mallard. And then tomorrow, well, I've got water park and amusement park passes, both to Lake Winnie for your Lake Winnie Wednesday. You just never know what kind of stuff you might be able to win just by listening to the Lifeline Morning Show. So thanks for hanging out with me. All right. Hey, coming up, I want to share with you the story of a local who just made it big. We're talking about a kid who spent years and years honing his skills, working on that baseball diamond, and now, well, he's getting to play in the major leagues. Who is it? Stick around and I'll tell you. This is some really good stuff. First, Josh Baldwin and Evidence right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but we do this show when the school year is going on here on the station. It's called the Varsity Radio Show, where we bring in local student athletes. We talk about life and sport and faith and all this cool stuff, and we really get to learn what makes them tick. And out of all those kids who have played on the high school level, some of them make it to college, but very rarely do they make it to the big leagues. We're talking about professionally playing their sport of choice. Well, there's a kid from Geraldine, Alabama, graduated in the year 2020, and he spent a little time in high school playing, then a little time at Jacksonville State playing, and now, well, here, I just want you to hear this audio because this makes it official. See what you think about this.
Peppers came in a 4.81 ERA, 58 innings pitched in total. Plenty of room to fill out. He's 6'3", 160 pounds, but he's already got a fastball sitting mid to upper 90s.
Yeah, no, he's a guy who's going to get better. He's listed 6'3", 160, so super projectable. You know, they play a lot of SEC teams in midweek games at Jacksonville State. He allowed 1 run with 11 strikeouts, 9 2/3 innings against that kind of competition. And he played well, he pitched well in the Cape Cod League, so that helped him as well. You know, 93, 95. He can keep that velocity, too, even though he's not physically strong or doesn't look physically strong. He keeps that velocity, touches 98 with a flat approach angle, has a 2-plane slider. I think that's an upside pick right there.
What do you think about that? 90s. In the 90s, that fastball. Man, that's crazy. Jake Peppers graduated from Geraldine High School, and one of our locals making it to the Chicago White Sox. How cool is that? You know, I love sharing stories like this because it inspires a lot of our other kids, other students, other athletes who are trying their best to make it to that level. It just shows them it is possible. Just stick with it. And just had to talk about him. So, hey, that story was brought to you by our intern here at the station, who actually graduated with Jake. Yeah, Braden Williams in studio with me. You know, this is his 5th week of a 6-week internship. I'm going to miss him. It's been a blast having him the past 4 weeks, and we still got this week and next week to go, so a lot left to do. I'll try to get him into as much trouble as possible, I promise. And we'll have some more fun here on the radio. All right, more great music headed your way. I've got Lauren Daigle with Thank God I Do right now, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. What's your favorite color? You probably got asked that as a kid all the time. You might even ask your kid that right now. And if it's anything like my daughter, well, her favorite color, it changes from time to time. At one time it was pink. Now it's an aqua color. So, hey, I wonder if maybe your favorite color is purple. If so, it holds a lot more meaning than you know right here in the state of Alabama. Let me tell you all the details coming up after We the Kingdom and Dancing on the Waves right here on the Lifeline on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. It's so funny, just over the weekend, we had praise and worship practice at my church. I'm the drummer. I've been playing drums for, I guess, about 6 years or so at the church I'm going to right now. So it's always a lot of fun, but we do practice sometimes after church on Sunday. So we kind of all get together and eat. We had some Papa John's. It was good stuff, right? Had some cookies, some brownies. And of course, all the members get to bring their kids. So little Olivia was kind of walking around, and I was kind of keeping an eye on her for her mom. And she was looking out the window, and I thought, well, let's have some fun, shall we? So I started asking her, what color was this truck? What color is that power pole? What color is the grass? She told me the grass was red. I'm like, what? She said, no, it's green. We always have fun. Those colors, though, you know, they do so much. They brighten up our world. Some of them kind of get you in a happy mood, like the yellows, and maybe the really bright reds and oranges. Some of them kind of get you in a funk, like the blues and the really dark colors. You just don't feel them. Kind of feel moody, right? Well, tell you what, there is one color that it's sung about. I wonder if you've ever heard this song. It's kind of taking you back a few years, like quite a few years. But anyway, let's play a little bit of this, and we'll get back to the story.
Well, I saw the thing coming out of the sky. It had a one long horn and one big eye. I commenced to shaking in the city. It looks like a purple people eater to me. It was a one-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater. A one-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater sure looks strange to me.
Yeah, so purple. If that's your favorite color, it might actually hold some different significance for you right here in the state of Alabama. Yeah, the purple paint law. Have you ever heard about this? Well, basically, it's a low-cost alternative to making sure that your property is protected from trespassers. Yeah, instead of having to go to Walmart and get a no trespassing sign, you can actually take purple paint and use it to tell everybody, hey, stay off my land. But here are the rules for it, okay? In order for those purple marks to be valid, they must be vertical lines, not less than 8 inches in length and not less than 1 inch in width. They're placed so that the bottom of the mark is not less than 3 feet from the ground and not more than 5 feet from the ground. And they have to be placed at locations that are readily visible to any person approaching the property and are no more than 100 feet apart on forest land or 1,000 feet apart on land other than forest land. So there you go. Who knew that purple held such value? It's the no trespassing color. So now you know. Yeah. All right. More great music headed your way. We learn something every single day here on the show. I hope we never stop learning. Here's Zach Williams with Sundays Coming right here on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Came across this comment over on TikTok. I thought this is too relatable. I've noticed this a lot. See what you think about it.
I was placing an order for food online this morning for breakfast. And at the end of the order, it said, how much of a tip would you like to leave? And I was like, oh, I mean, I should leave something, but I don't know. And then I started thinking, this feels awful. Why does this feel awful? Why? And then I remembered, like, a tip is what you give when you get exceptional service. I haven't even had my service yet, and yet I'm being asked to give a tip. And I thought, I always give tips. And I even do it online, but I do it online out of obligation, not because anyone actually did anything to deserve it. I just give it because I feel obligated. And then I started thinking, how many times do I give out of obligation? How many times do you give out of obligation? Like, you don't feel compelled to do it. You're not excited about doing. It's just someone's asked you for something. And because if you're a good person, you'll do it. And then you end up helping them out of situations that you were never meant to help them out of. Because if you were meant to help them, you would be excited about doing it. It's like when you give a tip for exceptional service, you give it and you can't wait to give it because, man, that was a great experience. So if you're giving and it doesn't feel great, reevaluate, because if it's not because you want to do it, it's probably because you're not supposed to do it.
I think generosity is a great privilege. Don't get me wrong, but I think she hit the nail on the head right there. Sometimes you give out of obligation and it's not really warranted. It's crazy, isn't it? Don't get me wrong. Sometimes the Holy Spirit will lead you to give to people who are in need, but then you feel compelled to do it in a different kind of way. It's like, hey, I want to do this. I really think I can make a difference here. But then if you kind of fall into this trap of just doing it out of obligation, then people start taking advantage of you and it can get out of hand very, very quickly. And people know how to work it too. They know exactly what words to say to get you to kind of, do what they're wanting you to do. So just be careful with that. And it is a privilege to give. It is a joy to give. But sometimes you get a check in your spirit that says, hey, not this time. This time, why don't you just leave it alone? And there's a good reason for that. God knows what he's up to. And he'll guide you. Like it says in the Bible, the Holy Spirit will guide you into all truth. Even in those everyday circumstances, when you come across people who look like they're in need or, maybe looks like they could really use some help when maybe that's not what's going on at all. It's kind of a hard place to be to kind of get in that headspace, but rely on the leading of the Holy Spirit and you'll never go wrong. He'll have you help when the time is right. But sometimes as we help people who don't really need it in the moment, it does them more bad than good. I know that's kind of like tough love, but it's true. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. So Brennan's just sitting at home one day, gets a knock on the door, and he decides to answer it, see what's going on. And it's the kid from next door, and he had a really strange question to ask him. It's kind of a heartbreaking story that's got kind of a cool ending to it. Stick around. I'll share it with you after this. It's Phil Wickham, and this is Our God, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Brennan and Angel, they have a 2-year-old. So, hey, they're just getting used to having a kid, right? But play dates, probably in their foreseeable future. But right now, they're just focused on keeping this little one happy. Well, tell you what, there's a kid next door, though, who's having a really tough time. You see, this summer, it can be kind of, nerve-wracking for some kids. Yeah. Especially if you got nobody to play with. I mean, video games, they'll get you so far, but really, you need some interaction, right? And it helps to have kids in the neighborhood to play with. I remember growing up, my 2 best friends, Richard and Tony, we were thick as thieves in my granny's neighborhood. I spent most of the summer over there. We were riding bikes, playing baseball or swimming or riding horses or something. Sometimes getting into trouble, as boys do, but it was fun. Sometimes we'd get it on each other's nerves. We couldn't stand each other. We'd need some time away, and then everything was fine again. Well, you see, sometimes it's not quite that easy. Shaden, he was having a tough time. He's the kid from next door. And he came over and started to knock on this couple's door once and kind of shied away and went back home. And 30 minutes later, he came back, and he decided to go ahead and knock and ask a question, and here's how it all went down.
What's up, man?
Hi. I just wanted to see if you knew any kids around like 11 or 12 maybe, because I need some friends, like some really bad.
So the house to your right, there's 2 kids that live there.
Okay. Well, they're not my friends anymore, because they're bullies to me.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, man.
They keep bullying me. Yeah, I'm just wondering though.
No, man, I've only got a...
do you have any kids?
Yeah, she's 2 years old, though, man.
Oh, okay, that's great, because I love 2-year-olds, to be honest. they're just like the most cutest things I have ever known.
Cool, man.
Cause like, you know, I have a 2-year-old. I used to have a 2-year-old sister. She was a handful, but I really enjoyed spending time with her.
Yeah, man, we just got a little baby, so.
Okay.
Alrighty, well, what's your name, bro?
Shaden Walker.
Cool, man. If I see you around, I'll tell you hi.
Okay.
Alright, man.
You have a good day.
That's how it went down. How tough is that? This kid needs friends. Just went to the neighbors to see, hey, any ideas? Well, that video was captured on one of those Ring doorbells. And they took that, posted it up to social media, and said, hey, I think we need to do something about this. So many people have watched this video over on TikTok. And Brendan decided he'd do something a little extra. He wanted to start a GoFundMe for Shaden. For funds to do fun things during the summer. Maybe help him make some friends. And he set a goal. He thought it was pretty lofty. $7,000? That's a lot of money, right? Well, all the people who saw this video got involved. $37,257 were raised. All of the money is going to Shaden and his family for all the stuff they need for this upcoming school year. We're talking about school supplies and clothes, shoes, maybe some amusement park passes for him and a friend. It was all done out of just loving hearts who have been there before, who have dealt with bullying and know what it's like. And it's like, hey, we want to help this kid. This is a rough spot to be in. So, wow. What do you think about that? Pretty cool story, right? And you know what? We all have that opportunity to help make somebody's day better in our lives. The question is, how are we going to do it? Well, I'll tell you what it takes. It takes watching and listening, seeing what's going on in their lives. And once you find that spot where you can help, to actually step in and do that is a game changer. Not only does it make their day better, but it makes your day better at the same time. So I think maybe Brandon and Angel, well, they're inspiring this whole country and what they did, just stepping up, going the extra mile for this kid who just really wanted a friend. Yeah, so how are you going to impact your world today?
You know, as a Christian woman, I just have to say, I think it is hilarious whenever people act as if God doesn't have a sense of humor, as if he doesn't want us to have fun. I mean, God's the one that created beaches for us to run on and make sandcastles with our friends. He's the one that created rain for us to dance in and snow for us to have snowball fights with our friends and hit them in the face, lovingly in the name of Jesus. Go have fun. It's God's will.
Jen Kish really has a way with words, and I just want to read them to you, Mom, because these are so good. See what you think about this. She says, motherhood is so many things. It's draining and fulfilling. It's exhausting and exhilarating. It's long days and short years. It's wanting them to grow and stay little. It's laundry and dishes. It's blocks and dolls. It's mismatched socks and wrong season tops. It's messy. It's beautiful. Nothing in this life has challenged me like being a mother. When I had 4 children under the age of 7, every single day was lived in the spaces between naps and bedtimes. There were days when getting out of bed was overwhelming because I knew the day was full of caring for everyone's needs but my own. And somewhere in the midst of all of that, I found who Jesus intended for me to be. I was meant to be Mama. Mama in the hard, Mama in the easy, Mama in the happy, Mama in the sad, Mama to the babies, and Mama to the teens. There's a verse in scripture that says women will be saved through childbearing. Now, obviously, this is not the only way for a woman to come to know the Lord, but I do believe it can lead us to depend more fully on Him, because when the calling of a mother gets heavy, the only place to find true rest is in Jesus Christ. If this is you today, I encourage you to lean into Jesus, let Him renew your strength, and fill your cup. His well never runs dry. Maybe it's supposed to be hard, Mama, because if we could do it alone, we'd never find Jesus in the midst. Wow, what do you think about that? Mom, you're doing an amazing job. Sometimes you cut yourself short. You think that you mess up. And let's be honest, we all make mistakes, but you learn from them. And you keep moving forward, and you're making some pretty amazing little humans. Good job. Keep up the good work. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. It's been an absolute blast hanging out with you today. I've got one last thing to pass along to you before I have to say goodbye, and that is your inspiring quote of the day. It's so good. From Langston Hughes, who said, "What can you seek now to make your heart still sing?" Think about that. There are things around you every single day that can inspire you. And they're always there. Sometimes we're not just looking for them, you know? It could be something as simple as a beautiful sunrise. Or it could be something like that interaction you have with your significant other, those memories being made, those moments that'll just live on forever. So I want you to look for those things that inspire you, that make your heart sing, because they're all around you. And that particularly tells me that we need to explore our world, get inspired, and let it drive us to new heights. So can you take that challenge today? I know you can. I'll take it with you. All right. Hey, that's going to wrap it up for us here on the Lifeline. I did want to pass along a little more information about a contest we've got going on. And right now it's at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. We are trying to reach out to our local youth groups. We got this contest, and 10 passes to Motion Student Conference are up for grabs. All your youth group has to do is put together a video under 2 minutes long, submit it to us, and who knows? You might just win. And these things are like $150 a piece. We got 10 of them to give away to one youth group. So who knows? You get involved with that, you might just win it for your youth group. That's a lot of fun, right? Also, tomorrow, we are going to have Steve and Debbie Wilson with us with Marriage Matters Now. They're going to be doing their 8 Mosquitoes conference at Lake City Assembly of God coming up on Friday night and Saturday morning. They're going to be with me via Zoom on the show tomorrow at about 8:25. So be listening and watching our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. It'll be live there as well at the same time. And we could really use your help getting the word out about that event, by the way. Again, that's tomorrow at 8:25. All right, well, I guess I shall bid you adieu. Remember, you can always check out the show as a podcast at 10:15 this morning. It'll be loaded right there on our website, 885jfm.com. Just click Lifeline Podcast, and it'll also go to Google and Apple Podcasts later today. I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10.